All right, welcome everyone. So glad to see my fellow women entrepreneurs in here and everyone from Ride. My name is Jennene Biggins, and I'm just gonna go from here. Okay. Little bit about me. I'm the CEO of Danso Digital Media Group and Get Your Biz Mobile. I have over 22 years digital and social media marketing experience. I'm dating myself, but that's okay. I provide services to small businesses organization, and I used to be a part of the Baltimore Metropolitan Women Business Center, as well as currently the DC Small Business Development Center. And I work with a lot of chapters and everything, and I love small businesses. So tonight I've been tasked with doing an overview of digital marketing, but we're also going to really tap into this chat GPT thing that I don't know if any of you have heard of it. Feel free to say yes or put it in the chat.
Yes.
It's taking the world by storm everywhere you see it. So we're going to talk about how to use that, as well as when you're building your website, doing your research and everything, it cuts time. So I will be providing, well, you have the recording of this, but I'll also be providing some giveaways for you guys to have, as well as a chat GPT course. So I'll make sure Omar gets all of that, okay? So the biggest business myth is your target market is everybody. You cannot market to everyone. Everyone does not want your product or services. Although it may be great, they don't want it. So when we talk about digital marketing, basically it's online marketing. You promote your brand, you connect with customers using the internet and other forms of digital, whether it be video, social media, email, web-based advertising, text marketing, or all the above, to be perfectly honest, okay? So I always want to start talking about what type of website do you have, because it's going to determine from the back end or when you're building it, what you can do with it. So over to the left is what we have is our direct sales, like a Mary Kay or an RCN or one of those different things. You cannot control the back end of that website. They give you, marykay.com/Jennene. I can have my products and services. I can do some marketing from the back end, but I can't put any analytics or things of that sort. And I'll talk about that in a second on the back end. Where over to the right, you have your traditional website. Mine is on WordPress. You control anything from the back end. You can put anything on the front. You could put Constant Contact, which is an email marketing platform, or MailChimp, or the hundreds of others on there, okay? Then we have the e-commerce options. So if any of you are thinking about having products, a store, I urge you to either have Big Cartel is on the lower end, because I always give people an option of the spectrum, where Shopify, which you might have heard of, is the more popular one. Basically, with these e-commerce platforms, all you have to do is upload your products with great pictures. They have a lot of templates, or you can get some people to customize your templates, whether it be on Fiverr or Upwork, which are kind of like outsourced things. So if you're going with products only, I wouldn't say do it from scratch. That's a lot of time and money. You want to do like a Shopify store, or you always also have Squarespace as well, okay? But before we get into that, there's also Constant Contact, which Omar is familiar with. We actually use Constant Contact's website for the Baltimore Metropolitan Women Business Center. I guess it's been maybe 4 or 5, probably about 5 years when they came out with the website and store builder as well with Constant Contact. What it does, it gives you the website and store builder, as well as you have your email platform. So everything is kind of all together. And I'll show you that, but I really wanted to talk about doing the research and your target market and all that, and how you can really cut that time by using what we call artificial intelligence, okay? One of the other big things I want to briefly touch on is to know what's going on behind your website. If you've never heard of it, or you might have heard of it, it's called Google Analytics. It is free, and I'll repeat that, it is free. So you do not have to pay for it. I remember I had a client who someone tried to get her to pay $400 for them to put this on her website. And I was like, don't you dare, it's free. Basically, Google gives you this little piece of code. You put it on your website and you can see who's looking at your website, how many users you have over a particular time, how many pages they looked at. If you notice here, the average page per session, the average page. So this particular client, the visitors looked at the pages, about 5 pages per session, which is good. And they actually stayed on this website over 2.5 minutes, which is amazing. Because if you don't know, people are very not short-tempered. They have no patience and they don't read. So if once they get to your site and they don't find what they see in about 20 seconds, they're gone and they're off to somewhere else. And at the bottom here, it just goes to show you, and we'll talk about this a little bit, about what they're using. Are they using a desktop to look at your website? Are they looking at the mobile phone, or are they looking at their tablet? Probably now more than ever, it's probably the mobile phone and tablets are the highest, but it also sometimes depends on the age range as well, okay? Do you have any questions about those few things that I talked about? Because I'm really excited to get into the next part.
And that is called Google.
Google Analytics, and we'll make sure you get links to all of this.
Yes,
Google
ma'am.
Analytics. And just so I'm glad you asked that. So in July, they're changing over to Google Analytics 4, which is a more updated one. So anyone that has the old Google Analytics is going to have to convert. But if you don't have that on there, you can just go with Google Analytics 4, and I'll make sure Omar gets a link to how to put it on there, etc. Okay. So when you're talking about website elements, there are several elements that you should have for your website, which are essential for creating professional and effective online presence. Okay. And one is you want a clear navigation. By that is, can people find things clearly? Or are they searching how to buy from you or how to find your services? The second is mobile optimization. If I pull up your website on my phone, can I see it clearly? Or am I going to have to stretch it, to look at it? So you want to be cognizant of that. Then your contact information. I cannot tell you the amount of websites that I've been on and I'm searching for a phone number or an address, even if it's a PO box or even an email. Sometimes it's not on the contact us tab. I don't know. They just have a form. But you want people to be able to contact you, because what they're thinking is, if this person doesn't have any of this information, is this business even real? Because as you know, we have a lot of fraud out here in the lovely world. So you have to be aware of that. Also, what's the call to action? What do you want them to do when they get to your website, to your homepage? And remember, everyone is not going to come into your website on your homepage. They may come in through the services page. They may even come in through the contact us page. So you want to make sure you have the navigation, but also a call to action to direct them what you want them to do. Also, another area is social media integration. A lot of people, when they go to websites, they want to see if you have a presence, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, all of the above. And a lot of times they communicate with you through social media versus your website. They go to your website at one time, but then they want to communicate with you on social media. And the next is what you might have heard called search engine optimization. Basically, that's how people find your website on Google, Bing, Yahoo, but let's talk about Google. So you want to make sure that, and maybe we'll do that in another class, because that's a whole hour in itself. Search engine optimization. You want to make sure they can find your page. If they Google, mom entrepreneur organization, it'll come up, moms, the organization, etc. And the last part is the analytics, which we talked about, which is the Google Analytics on the back end. And that's just your typical website elements. Any questions on that so far? Okay. So now this is the fun part. So you probably heard of this artificial intelligence, this Chat GPT. You're like, what in the world is that? Do I need to know about it? How do I use it? Everyone from especially if you go on YouTube, all you see is Chat GPT everywhere. It's called a large language model. It's not new. It's been created by OpenAI. It's probably one of the newest, one of the most commonly known, but there's all kinds of AI out there. And you'll find that when you see different things, I mean, they have artificial intelligence that will build your website in 30 seconds. And I'm going to show you that in a second, which is crazy. They have things that will make you do images. That's called Mid-Journey, and make you do these fictitious images. They say Chat GPT you can write an ebook. I mean, you will start seeing, if you haven't already, it all over the place. Now, it was released in 2020, but it's been really popular really in the past 2-3 months. And it had more than 100 million users within the first 2 months of its launch, and has had 13 million daily visitors as of 2023. People have talked about it taking over jobs, things that it'll be able to do. Now, it's not going to take over jobs, but it's going to cut the time. And if you know how to use it and use it for your business, you can make money. Now, I haven't done that yet, but there's a lot of information out there. So let's just talk about it first. Number one, it's free. You can set up your account by going to this website, and I'm going to show you the live version of it. We're going to go to the site, and all it's asking you for, you log in with your name and username. It'll confirm it through your email. Boom, you are in. Now, there is a Chat GPT 4 version, which is $20 a month, but I say let's start with the free first. It does just as good, okay? Basically what it does, it goes by what we call these things called prompts. Basically, it's pre-written text that can be used to generate new content. And I want to show you that in a minute, because when I first saw this, I'm like, oh my goodness. I personally hate writing, FYI. And a lot of times you want to come up with different things, or you may be sitting looking at a blank screen and somebody says, oh, we need your bio in 100 words or less in the next half hour. And you're sitting there looking at like 6 paragraphs of your bio. You're like, okay, how am I going to get this into 100 words? Well, guess what? With Chat GPT, you can do it, because ask me how I know, because I had to do it, okay? I also did a little test. I put in Chat GPT, write 20 empowering quotes about women in business for Women's History Month, complete with emojis and hashtags and a sassy tone. So you can actually tell it tones. It could be an informational tone. It could be an excited tone. It's just amazing, okay? But this is what I want to show you. So a prompt, and there are people you will find, they have prompts out there from 50 prompts to 1,000 prompts. And I have a document I'll send to Omar that has, I think, 30 different prompts. But this is one that I thought would help you if you're trying to maybe figure out your different types of audience. So it says, and I'm going to type this in and show it to you in a minute. Give me 10 different types of audiences that would be interested in trading me money in exchange for this. That's your product or service, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you what's going to happen. Let me go back one. So I'm going to highlight this, right? And who would like me to try this for them? Because this is always the fun part. Would like me to try it for and put the prompt in. Can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going in. So this is what it looks like once you're confirmed and everything. And see where it says send a message? That's where you type the prompt. So I'm just going to paste this. Who wants me to try something to see what it comes up with?
All right, nobody's speaking.
You can try
mine.
Yeah. Okay. Who's okay?
I'm gonna mute everybody, and you could just go for a t-shirt
Okay.
company, Jennene.
What go for? Okay. So give me 10 different types of audience that would be interested in trading me money in exchange for
T-shirt company. T-shirt company.
Okay. T-shirt. That's t-shirt printing services, right?
That works too.
So look what it does. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So I asked it to give me 10 different types of audiences. Those are target markets that I could possibly go after. And look what it's doing. Small business owners, event planners, sports teams, nonprofit organizations, schools and university, arts musicians, social media influencers, fundraising campaigns, family reunions, and weddings. How long did that take me? A minute. I want to say, give me 10 more. Let's see what it comes out with.
Omar, didn't you show us this before?
Yeah, I showed y'all this last month.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all in the prompt. It's all what you put in the prompt. And the more detail you give it, the more it will give it back to you. Okay. So if you get too general and just give it some old blasé thing, it's not going to do anything. So when you're thinking about your target market for what you're trying to do, you want to put it in here and even get really specific, almost like you're talking to someone. So do you see how that can happen? Now that's your target market. But how about, this is one I love. We know that in order for you to make money, if you solve a problem, it's easy. So I'm going to go and say, what's a problem you want that your business solves? Give me, what are 10 problems that, and I'll just use this, mothers, because my girl's on here, mothers who are entrepreneurs specific experience that what I could put, a specific experience when they need child care during, I'll just put, I don't know what's going to come with working hours. Okay. Okay, let's see what happens. So these are problems. So what I'm saying in these different things, you can say, okay, what are some problems? If you're like having a blank, what are some problems that my product or service can solve? This is giving me 10 problems. And then I could take these 10 problems and A, have that on my website, B, definitely use it for social media marketing, okay? See, it's breaking it down. So maybe I had a brain fart and like, oh, okay, it's breaking it down, and all in a matter of minutes, okay? But the other part is, remember I told you about the Women's History Month thing? So say you wanted to do some things with Women's History Month. Give me 10 inspirational quotes, and this could be for anything. Inspiration, if I could spell, inspirational quotes about women's history month. And I'm going to say with emojis and hashtags, and it's going to give that to me. So I don't have to figure it out. If I can write in a sassy tone. Okay. Here you go. Now, one thing about this, we don't have time to do this tonight, but you could take these quotes, and I have a video that I'll make sure Omar has. You can take these 10 quotes or 20 quotes or whatever, you can put it in Canva, and you can make Canva images with these different quotes. And therefore you'll have 10 days or 20 days or whatever for your social media. So you don't have to hire a social media because you may not right now have the money to do that. Does that make sense? So do you have any questions about this ChatGPT stuff? No questions?
So, yeah, so I have a ton of questions.
Sure.
I love using the chat. So who owns this content who owns this? These 10
Well,
inspirational quotes.
you do right now, because what happens is it's pulling from it's pulling from the internet.
Got it.
Now, this is just one of them. Now, remember, ChatGPT is probably the most popular one, but
Right.
there is one. If you're looking for something that that has, and you need some sources for it, there's one called perplexity.ai. So if you need to have some sources, because if you notice, the ChatGPT doesn't give you sources.
Right.
But say you wanted to, you needed some sources and to tell you where they got from. Okay, now maybe put here, let's see. So say what's something that you'd want to know? 10 problems Black women entrepreneurs have when trying to fund their business. Okay.
Mhm.
So look at here. Now this is called perplexity.ai. So it's a different AI system similar to ChatGPT, but this one actually gives you the sources it comes from. So here are 10 problems as here, but if you notice down here, it's giving you the sources. So this one is saying it's coming from Business Do Daily. If you click on that, it will redirect you to the article. So if you need an article for more substance and more information, bam, here you go.
Wow.
So this takes, ChatGPT is great. Like I said, there's probably hundreds and hundreds of other ones, but this one I like because it gives you sources. So if you need to say, okay, this article or this document, so here's some numbers, was found in this article, and this one is dated 2021, February 21, 23. Because keep in mind, ChatGPT is from 2021 and earlier. So that's the only thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. I didn't know that.
Yes. Now, ChatGPT 4, from what I understand, is supposed to be more current. But if you're dealing with statistics or whatever, things of that sort, I say, of course, you get the information from ChatGPT, then just do your due diligence and get, and find out the specific, and to make sure that, especially when you're getting the numbers and you're quoting numbers, as you can see, like for this one. So I like perplexity.ai because it gives you sources. So you can use them both. And I'm sure there's probably some other ones out there, but that is a great option for you. If that makes sense. Okay.
It does.
All right. Okay. So let's talk about, okay. So we talked about the problem prompt. We talked about generating ideas with ChatGPT. Okay. Definitely when it comes to your social media content, if you don't have the money to pay for someone to do social media, go in here and just start playing around with it. What I suggest is when you find the information, copy it and post it either to Notepad if you're on a Windows PC or Word, or if you're on a Mac, post it to Notes, because it is free. And we don't know if what you might have spent one day and you might have been playing, oh, let me try if it does this. Oh, let me try this. Cut and paste it so you can keep it and you have the information, excuse me, in case it goes bye-bye. Okay. So I wanted to show you, there's a website that's built with AI called durable.co, and it can build a website in 30 seconds. Now, in all fairness, I've done this before, but I don't know after you build it, how to make sure, that you can connect it to your domain. I have to work on that. But if you, I want to show you what it looks like. What did I say? Durable CO. Okay, so let's try it. Let's see, durable. Okay. So this is it. It says generate your website.
Is this free?
It's free to start, but I'm sure that if you want to use it, it costs. And we'll see if I can see the pricing for you. But this will just give you an idea. Because I want to check it out, because I'm not really sure like what happens. Where's my mouse? What happens with once you build it, how you get it. So get started, right? It says getting my location. So it's going by whatever my IP address is, my location, okay? It says I'm in Capitol Heights, that's where I live. And why does mine? And it says enter business type. So say, I don't know, where is my mouse and why does it keep disappearing? Yeah, that was always busy. Do escape. I was trying to get my mouse. Let's see. And why is my mouse is gone bye-bye? I wanted to try, it says it looks like I'm in Prince George's County, which I am. Does anyone see my mouse switching around? This is so weird.
Don't see it. There it is.
Where is it?
Right there. It was over here where it says map box to your low. You have multiple screens?
Yeah.
Okay. It may be on your
It's
other
not- I'm
screen.
not even seeing on either one of them. Hold on. This is weird. Huh. Can you can't do anything on my screen, can you?
No, I can't.
Okay. Hold on. It just went bye-bye. It did.
Yeah, I saw at the lower left.
There, oh, there we go. Let me move slower. Okay. Here we go. Let's do bookkeeping next. What's the name of your business? DG's Cookbooks. Okay. All right. So I just called it Gigi's Cookbooks. It's building it. So do you see what it's doing?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
adding a form. So it's basically in a saying it's ready. So it says see it. Okay. If I wanted to regenerate it, I could. Now, what I'd like to find out is, so what I want to find out is if I do it and you can customize it, like how much this is going to cost me, because this is great for me to do. So this is an option. It's called durable.co. Okay. What I'm going to do, I want to see if it gives us some pricing. Website generator. Okay, because that's the thing. How much does it cost? Okay, start using it for free. That's how they get you. I want to see if it gives me a pricing table. If it just takes me back. It doesn't, but I'll check it out for you. But this is an option for you to have. Okay. Another option that I told you about, which is very good, is that Constant Contact has its own website generated, and this is what it looks like. I was playing around with it. It does have a lot of templates already on it. It has a way, if you need to buy your domain name and you don't have one ready, you can use it there. So one thing I like about it, if you're new and you're trying to do this yourself, you can drag and drop. So once you create your site, you can click edit. And one thing I do like about it is very easy to use. And the thing about Constant Contact, they're US based, which is important. Number two, you can always call somebody up if you have a problem. You don't have to worry about just email thing. And you can drag and drop. So if you'll see, this is the layout of this. And if I want to change it, it shows me different layouts I can try. So you see how easy this could be? Here are what we call the different sections and pages. So if I wanted to do, say, a call to action page, all I have to do is click on it and it puts it there. So you can't get any easier than this. And say if I wanted to change this picture here, you can do select the image. You can, I wanted to change it to the people, I could do it here. So it is very affordable. I believe it's like part of the package, which is $20 a month. And it includes the website builder and the store. So you can even have, it does have the e-commerce. If you wanted to change the image and the theme, and actually the Baltimore, Washington Women Business Center's website is built on Constant Contact. So just to give you an idea, and I'll just show you what the default Metro, right? WBC, there it is. Is it .org? Or is it
.org, just .org.
Okay. So here's a site just to give you some kind of perspective. This site was actually built on Constant Contact. So just to show you that, you know, things can be built and it's live and it's great that you can use. Here's training and events. There's different calendars you can have. So this is actually was built on Constant Contact. So you can get a really nice website easily by just going, you know, on Constant Contact. And then you have your email also within it. If you notice, here's your call to action. If you wanted to call, over to the left are your social media. So it's very user-friendly. So I say, instead of you, if you're really stuck for pricing and you can't afford to get someone to do it for you and you have patience, go ahead and start with the Constant Contact website. Because remember, you can always upgrade later when you start making money. That's always the easiest. But to give you a great look for your website, a nice clean website, etc., go ahead and start with the Constant Contact because it is user-friendly. They do have US support, which is really important, as you all, I would say. Do you have any questions on that so far? Okay. And I think that was the end. Did I do good on what I did that in 30 minutes like you gave me?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was good information.
I know it was a lot and I know it was quick, but it just gave you a nice, hopefully it generated some ideas for you that you can use for your websites and what you may have coming up. Okay.
All right. All right. Any
And I
questions?
would love to get feedback from you guys. Any questions, love to answer. You want to scan this or take this. I'm trying to improve on the information I give. We'd love to get feedback.
This is Mitch La Production.